So what does it mean to live off-grid? Some people think that living off-grid means that you have to live like a caveman. You live in a cave, you cook your food over an open fire, and you wear nothing but animal skins. But is that what it means to live off-grid? Others seem to think that living off-grid means that you have to live out in the middle of the woods in a log cabin that you built with your own two hands, and that you can't have any contact with the outside world. But is that really what it means to live off-grid? Well, let's see what the dictionary says. Dictionary.com says off-grid, not connected to or using one or more public utilities, as for electricity or water. Here's their example sentence. Our farm is off-grid and works on solar panels. All right, so that's pretty interesting. But what are public utilities? Well, according to Wikipedia, a public utility is natural gas companies, electric companies, telephone companies, water companies, steam companies, and former hydraulic power companies. Today, we're going to show you how we live off-grid, not connected to any of those public utilities, and share with you what some off-grid options are to those public utilities.
The first public utility on our list is natural gas. The off-grid alternative would be propane. That's what we use outside. We have a 1,000-gallon tank. We use propane to cook with. This is our stove right here. It's just purchased from Home Depot. It's nothing really special. Before, we used a hot point stove. Worked great. Used a 9-volt battery as its igniter. This one, we just upgraded a little bit, and this is what we use now. This stove was set up to run off of natural gas. We converted it to propane. A lot of people also are using natural gas to heat their water with. Let's show you how we do ours.
All right, cruise down here with me, guys, to down the hallway to right here. Check this out. This is our water heater. This also was originally set up for natural gas, but we converted it to propane. This is an on-demand water heater, super efficient, and runs off of our 1,000-gallon propane tank. Oh, here's another thing right here. Dryer, right? A lot of people have a natural gas dryer. Well, we have a propane dryer. That also came set up for natural gas, but we converted it to propane. Oh, another thing that a lot of people do is heat their house with natural gas.
We're using the off-grid alternative and using a wood stove to heat our house. I think we typically go through 7 cords of wood for the winter. This little guy does a great job of heating the entire house. The apartment runs on a propane furnace.
That's right. We didn't want guests having to use a wood stove and possibly burn our whole house down up in the apartment. So, we went with a furnace. It's a forced air furnace, just like in any other house, but it does run on propane, which, like we're saying, is an off-grid alternative. Next on the utility list, oh boy, is electric. Let's watch Jules. Go, Jules, go.
That's so mean. Ooh. It's icy, man.
I know it, huh? That doesn't even like squish anymore at all.
Not really. Not up there. It falls off the roof and just compacts. I should have worn my snow boots though.
So the next, what were we saying? The next utility on the list is the power company, right? An off-grid alternative to that would be like, a gas generator, a propane generator, a wind turbine, a hydro turbine, something like that. But here on our homestead, we have decided to go with solar as our off-grid alternative.
There's 30 panels here and there's about 10,000 watts of solar power.
So let's cruise in here into the solar shed. Show you our setup here real quick. Ooh. You notice like we're just turning lights on everywhere because our house is wired just like a regular house. So anyway, these are all of our batteries right here. We've got 16 Battle-Born batteries. We've got our solar charge controllers up here. And then 2 inverters that gives us 240 volts and 50 amps of power going to the house so we can run everything we want to run. Oh, we also have this guy right back here, which is our backup generator. We've got gasoline right here for it. And that way, when it's cloudy, like it is right now, we can come out, run the generator, and charge up our batteries.
Something that I was kind of like unsure of about how I can actually use the power, but I run a blow dryer, an Instapot to make rice all the time, a blender. I'm not really limited actually on what we can do. Obviously on days like this, we're going to be more conservative and think about, do I do laundry or not? But typically, like, we just kind of use it as we normally would. Hi, Watts. This is Watts. He's very friendly. Come here, buddy. Go say hi.
Watson, what are you doing, huh? So I'm just hanging out with Mom. That's all.
He's the best.
Watts and his sister Ray, they are outdoor cats. Although, I mean, they can go in the garage. We have a cat door for them, but they're not really allowed to come in the house because they've got a job to do. And if they don't do their job, then they're not earning their food. And their job is not just to look cute and make Jules smile.
That's a big part of it, though.
Yes, but their real job is to catch the mice.
They do a great job of that, too. The mice, the voles. We used to have tons of voles in our garden when we first got here. Haven't had any since we got the cats. I mean, it took them a little while, but last 2 years, no voles and hardly any mice. We used to get mice in the house because you can see we're surrounded by forest. They come in when it's warm. We don't have any anymore. It's awesome. Cats are great.
The next utility on our list is telephone companies. Now, we don't have like telephone service, say like a landline, which I'm pretty sure that's what that's talking about. So what are some off-grid alternatives that we could use for, for telephones?
Oh, well, we have our cell phones.
Yep.
We use those. Wow, did you see that? Dude, what'd you do to Sally's leg, dude?
Safety Sally lost her leg.
Marty. She's an amputee now.
That's because she wasn't being careful with the chainsaw. Yeah, so cell phones would be an option. Ham radio, CB radio, maybe a string and a couple cans.
Marty.
Something like that. What?
Sorry. Show them that.
Wow. Cool.
Sorry for the interruption.
What do we got? We got some sticks here.
Whoa.
No, we've got a deer leg.
Those are bones.
Deer bones.
Here, pick it up so they can see.
You pick it up.
Okay.
Rhodey.
Wow.
Jules is going to pick up the dead deer bones.
Whoa.
Huh. Wonder how that got here.
The
Think
cats?
Pucks brought it over?
Where are the cats? Oh, there's more.
I don't know. But your fingers don't smell good no more.
They smell fine. Smell them.
No. Kind of tied with the phone company, right? Because a lot of people, at least in the past, used to get their internet through the phone company. But internet is another thing that a lot of people are curious about. Like, how do you get off-grid internet? Well, we used to use like LTE. We had some big old antennas up there that like shined down into town, and well, we had internet that worked. But now, man, with Starlink, it is beautiful. We have got internet like we have never had before. It's way fast. Download speeds over 100 megabits. Upload speeds around 25 megabits, probably right around there. Off-grid internet, man, I wouldn't even try anything else. Just go with Starlink right off the bat. You're not going to be sorry. At least I don't think you're going to be sorry.
Next utility is water. So we got to walk out to our well. This is our well here that we had drilled. It goes down about 520 feet. Our static level of water is about 90 to 100.
We've got a 3/4 horsepower pump down in there set at 200 feet. It pumps it up into our house, into a pressure tank, just like any other well pump and pressure tank system that is out there in the world. It's normal, guys. But we do have an abnormal adaptation to it that is like super off-grid.
This is our simple pump, a hand pump that, if I am doing it right, it will spew out water pretty soon here. And we have a whole installation video that we'll link to so you can see how that works. But if for some reason we had power problems, there it goes, we would still have water, which is really awesome.
And this right here, where you can see we've got this threaded fitting here. We can screw a garden hose onto here and then run the garden hose over to that frost-free hydrant. And when you pump this, it actually can pressurize the pressure tank up to 60 pounds of pressure through this. So like right here, when I just kind of plug this, you can't hold back that water. And yeah, a whole install video on how we installed that simple pump. You could just search like Martin Johnson simple pump install, and I'm sure that it will come up there for you.
The next public utilities on the list is steam companies and former hydraulic power companies.
Well, we don't use any steam, and we don't have any former hydraulic power either, Jules.
No, we don't.
So I guess that is the list, man, and our off-grid solutions. And you know, if you've been following the channel now for a little while, you know that this homestead that we're building here has been a progression. We started off right over there, living in tents, our whole family. We're in tents, cooking outdoors, like what you might think of as like truly off-grid. We were truly off-grid back then. And it was rough, you know, but we did it. We got our cabin like dried in just enough to live in, and slowly but surely we've been building it up over time. And so it's really been a progression. There's hundreds of videos of the process. If you'd like to watch those, I will link down in the description below to a playlist so we can go like back to the beginning of our homestead. When we started clearing all of the trees here, it was just like a thick old forest that we had to clear so we could start building our homestead. So what is the truth about living off grid in 2025 that no one will tell you? Well, I think it is that you don't have to live a rough life to live off grid. You can live off grid and have your house be totally normal, as convenient as you want it to be, as nice and modern as you want it to be. You can have a heat pump like this one right here. You can have LED lights all over your house, security cameras, and everything living off grid. But that doesn't mean that some people won't choose to live a more modest lifestyle. Either way you go, living off grid for us has been a good thing. It's really fun when we go to town and we talk to people and they say that the power's been out, and we don't even know because we are our own power company. All right, so that, my friends, is going to do it. I will put that video to the simple pump right up here. I hope you guys have a really great day and keep smiling.